Welcome to the Event Pro Show, your ultimate guide to the world of corporate events. Whether you're a corporate event planner, experiential marketing pro, producer, technician, or anyone involved in creating exceptional events, this podcast is your go-to resource for valuable insights, expert tips, and inspiring stories from the industry's leading professionals.
Well, welcome to the Event Pro Show. I'm your host, Seth Macchi. And because I run an AV company, I get a lot of questions when I speak at different things or talk to people in our industry. I get a lot of questions around in-house AV, and people have emotions about that, and some people love it, some people don't. I'm not here to tell you either way, but I will say in-house AV definitely has a place in the corporate events ecosystem. It serves a great purpose and can be very convenient and can be part of a turnkey package, make it easier for planners, make it easier for companies doing events and brands. But there does come a time when the service level that you're getting, you need to move beyond and look for an outside AV provider to partner with you on your events. So my question today is, how do you know when you've grown out of in-house AV? Well, I want to give you a few questions, a framework, if you will. This is not comprehensive. It's not everything. I'm sure people listening would have their own group of questions that you might ask. But here's a start. At least it's a start for you to start thinking about. And some of you are managing multiple events or multiple portfolios of events. And so some of your events might apply to this, and some of your events might still thrive utilizing in-house AV. So it's just a little framework for you to use. So I'll start with this question. Do you need more brand alignment? And what I mean by that is, if you're working with a client or you are the company that's putting on an event and you have really strong branding, you might even have maybe brand guidelines that are designed just for an event or an event series. And you really need your production to have alignment with that brand. It might be time to look for outside AV, outside of the in-house. When you work with an outside AV provider, they will be very curious about what you're trying to accomplish, how you're trying to represent the brand, what you're trying to communicate. And so these are the types of services, they're kind of next level, whereas an in-house package might be just kind of like they have, a few packages and you can pick one and it is what it is. It's very convenient to deploy, but it might not align with your brand very well. In fact, they might have packages that are kind of designed to work with every brand. So because those packages are designed to work with every brand, they don't really represent any one brand very strongly. So that might be one. Another question is, do you need a consistent experience across your event portfolio? Or do you have a series of events that need a consistent experience? This is where it can be challenging, where you might have a fantastic in-house AV experience in one city, and the next week you move that event to another city, and it's just not the same. It's just a struggle. And you're tired of the up and down, of the worry of, is this going to be a good week or a bad week? Who knows? Because your experiences are inconsistent. So that could be a question you could ask. Another question is, do you need to know what to expect? And this really ties into the last question is, I show up at one hotel. It might even be within the same hotel chain, but the AV crew here was fantastic. The AV crew here was not. And I don't have all the answers to why that is, but I do suspect it has something to do with the fact that in-house AV companies typically have to share a lot of their revenue with the hotel. It's a moneymaker. And because of that, it really squeezes their margins. And, a lot of companies, the first place they go to kind of regain or even get any margin at all is in labor. And so if you're dealing with techs that are getting a very low hourly rate on your event, now you might not be paying a low hourly rate, but that tech is receiving a low hourly rate, you're going to get a really inconsistent experience because a lot of times in-house AV techs, there's a lot of great techs that specifically start in the hotel AV space, in-house AV space. But if you're great, you can kind of look around and say, oh, there's private companies, outside companies that will pay me much more, and I could take these skills and support myself in a better way. And so you, as the client, you never know what to expect. And if you need to know what to expect, if you need that consistency in what you're providing to your end client, it might be time to look for an outside AV provider. So another question I have for you is if you need more creativity in your event design and execution, then an in-house AV isn't quite cutting it. It might be time. It might be time to graduate to an outside AV provider for the event that you're doing or for the brand that you're representing. When you work with an outside AV provider, a lot of times the creativity and design come first. But with in-house, what you'll find a lot of times is you'll have a group that works a lot more transactional than an external AV provider. And what I mean by that is that if you are a sales manager for AV in a hotel, or if you're even the execution team in that in-house AV department that lives in that hotel, a lot of times those clients you're not going to see for another 4, 5, 6, 7 years because that event itself is being traveled around the country to different conference centers around the country. And so because of that a lot of people that work in-house AV aren't going to be there in 7 years when you come back. And this creates a more transactional environment where they're concerned with how much revenue they can sell on this one event. And then they will bid you farewell, and then you won't see each other again. If you need more stability, and if you need more creativity, and if you need more design, it's definitely time to start looking for an outside AV provider. And so when you start looking through a framework like this, you realize that in-house AV is a wonderful tool to have in your tool belt for corporate events, but you might be feeling a tension as you work with a client and their experience needs to grow. And that tension could be that it's time to kind of graduate that event and look for an outside AV partner that could work with you to elevate that experience year after year. I hope this helps. Thank you for following along, and look for our episodes about once a week. And I hope you have a wonderful day. The Event Pro Show is a production of LEMG, video by Nick Barrett, audio and post-production by Prince Thompson. You can learn more about us at lemg.live.